Blessings. It's cuzzo. I just wanted to touch on this topic, something, I guess, relatively light compared to what I just talked about. But in the other videos, talking about the ruble and the collapse of the dollar and just the imminent possibility of nuclear war. Something a little bit lighter, domestic, dealing with Kentaji Brown Jackson, Judge Kentaji Brown Jackson, and just what's going on. I made a video touching on this other day. If you guys saw it, check it out. If you guys didn't see it, check it out. If you did, that's what's up. Like, share, comment, or react, share, comment, thumbs down, thumbs up, hey, react to it. But, yeah. People are up in arms, especially on the left, about, her treatment. Why is she being treated like this? Why is she being questioned like this? The memes are everywhere, I'm not a biologist, Senator, I don't know. This stuff is ridiculous, man. If this is supposed to be the first black woman nominee for the Supreme Court, why are we celebrating her? We don't even know if she's a woman according to her. She can't even define a woman. And people don't even see the irony and stuff like this. Like, people think it's so trivial. Like, no, whenever you are a judge, you decide cases, and you can't even define something that is objectively true. Something so simple. Can't even define it. Does it not stand to reason that your judgments are going to be problematic, if not already have been in the past? I already talked about how she been slapping the wrist on Kitty Kenny's. So, why are we as people supporting stuff like this? Why are we going along with this charade and this degradation and demoralization of our nation to where we can't even describe objective truths like what is a woman? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Matt Walsh, shout out to the Daily Wire. You know what I'm saying? They about to release a documentary talking about this. What is a woman? What is a woman? Maybe a better question is, who is a woman? Who is a woman? It's not trans women. Definitely not. It's not anybody that's not biologically born as a woman. And these are the type of interests that Kentaji has. She wants to protect, the rights of these people. She talks about substantive due process, in those hearings. But yet she says she wants to stay in her lane and not make laws. When in substantive due process, she pretty much expressed that in this process, they can activate enumerated rights that's not in the Bill of Rights. It's not in the Constitution. Really? So you want to stay in your lane, you don't want to make laws, but you acknowledge the fact that there is a judicial process that allows for that same exact thing to happen. And you don't even stick to objective truth. So what are you going to put into practice? What are you going to make up? What are you going to cook up? And, there's a little bit of, I was talking to my brother, He was telling me about, there was another black woman that was nominated to the Supreme Court. What was her name? She also has Brown in her name. Is it Janice Brown? I think it's Janice Brown. I apologize if I'm messing up your name, Mrs. Brown. But yeah. But I looked into it. She actually wasn't nominated to the Supreme Court. She was nominated to the Appeals Court in D.C. Around 2003. So she wasn't nominated to the Supreme Court, but she was an associate on the California Supreme Court. And, clearly she was a Republican conservative. And it's ironic because Biden actually voted against her. But, it just goes to show that, these people who are in power, they do not want anybody that is not in line with their agenda, which I believe is the agenda. the whole leftist agenda, whether it's sexual liberation, you know what I'm saying? Promoting not equality, but equity. I don't think people really understand the difference between equity and equality. Yes, everybody should have equality, equal rights. You know, I should be able to apply for a job the same way somebody else should be able to apply for a job. If I'm the most qualified, I should get that job, the same way somebody else should get that job if they're the most qualified, you know, no matter ethnicity, religion, socioeconomic status, able-bodiedness, disability, no disability, it shouldn't matter. But here's the thing. People are not fighting for equality. They're fighting for equity. They're fighting for equity. We want all equal outcomes. Do you realize how stupid that is? Even in the word of God. Ever heard of the parable of the talents? Well, hey, the master, he gave 1 talent to one servant, and he gave 2 talents to another servant, and he gave 5 talents to another servant. And the one with 2 talents, he's like, hey, like, Lord, I did well with what you gave me. Like, I made more. Here are 5 talents back to you. Well done, good and faithful servant. The one who had 5 talents, he upgraded. Lord, I did well with what you gave me. Here's 10 talents. Well done, good and faithful servant. You know what the one with the 1 talent did? They hid it in the ground and they buried it. And when the master asked him, like, hey, what's going on? The servant was like, well, I heard that you were a hard and austere man and very severe. You reap where you did not sow. So I hid your talent in the ground. You wicked servant. You knew I was a hard man and that I reaped where I did not sow. And you didn't at least put my talent in the bank so it could get interest. So why am I telling that parable? It's because equity is not something that will be level across the playing field, across the distribution. That is impossible. And you know what that sounds like? Communism. Communism. Marxist, communist ideology, rhetoric being sown throughout America, being sown throughout educational institutions. I mean, look at CRT, man. People fighting for reparations and, distributive justice, equity. I'm 6'2", man. That's like somebody, Vody Balkum, shout out Pastor Vody Balkum. He gave a great example. That's like me being 6'2", right? And I'm sitting in this chair and then somebody next to me is 5'2". And then we supposed to stand up at the same time and be the same height. That don't make no sense, man. That don't make no sense. And whenever you fight for something so illogical and so impossible, you're bound to be disappointed. You're bound to hurt people. You're bound to waste people's time. And you're bound to destroy a nation that wasn't built on that. This nation had a lot of issues. Of course it did. Of course it had a lot of issues. Yes, what nation doesn't? What nation doesn't? But the thing that was actually fixing our issues and was going to steer us in a better direction as far as our values and biblical principles that this nation was built on. I mean, you look at the Constitution, you look at the Bill of Rights, you look at natural law. These are not things that are given and invoked by human power. It is based on what God has given us as being made in the image of him. So when you desecrate these things, when you spit on what it means to be made in the image of God, when you spit on the Creator, when you spit on his laws and his precepts and his wisdom and his ways are higher than our ways, his thoughts above our thoughts, as high as the heavens are is above the earth. I mean, It's only a matter of time before a nation crumbles, man. So, hey, it's just my thoughts, man. Not much more to say. But hey, shalom and blessings. Get prepared. I'm going to post. Dang, bro. So it was about 20 minutes apart. Yeah. That's the second patrol that's went by since I've been out here. I've only been out here 30 minutes, man. So, yeah. I'm by a military base. But anyway, so I'll post a link in the description of where people can get supplies. I'm saying stock up on emergency food. If you can get precious metals, get it. If you can get weapons, get them. Guns, knives, swords. You know what I'm saying? And just get what you can get, man, because it's going to come a time where you're not going to be able to get it unless you are willing to give up that soul. No, it's not an exaggeration. So be blessed, be easy. Shalom.